I'm Megan Hamilton, and this is the Embracing Enchantment podcast. My friends, let me be so real with you. It is 7:52 p.m. on March 19th, and I am recording this, as is. I'm not wearing makeup. I put on some lipstick. I'm wearing my hand knitted hat by my friend and drummer Ange Stever from my band Hag. This is merchandise. You may or may not know that I am in a witch punk band. You'll know more soon because we're recording soon. This Mercury Retrograde, which stations direct today, the day the podcast comes out, which is March 20th, really did a number on me in a couple of ways, mostly material and very much related to my body. And also I'm launching a new program on Saturday. And I've been at my mom's all week with my daughter for March break, and I had a really busy time and then I had time to get this program ready, and it kept getting thwarted. And I've been trying to listen to my intuition. Is it getting thwarted because I shouldn't be doing it? This is the hard stuff within, okay, well, this card wants to come through, but this is the hard stuff within the realm of our spirituality, because I made the decision to create this program in my other job. In case you don't know, I'm a speaking coach, because one-on-one work was starting to burn me out real bad. And it happened a couple summers ago, and then it happened again. And the lovers. That's funny. I'll talk about that in a sec. I've been taking really good care of myself. I've been doing weight training. You're going to hear my family in the background because everybody's home, and this is just how this episode is going to be, because I can only do one take. That's all I've got time for. But I don't think this is signs that I shouldn't be doing this. If anything, do you remember, if you've read The Alchemist, how when you first have an idea, the universe kind of conspires to set you up, make it feel quote unquote easy. And then you go along, and then you have challenges or things become difficult. And that's supposed to be helping you understand how much you want this to happen. And I'm wondering if that's part of it, is all this thwarting. I mean, it's Mercury retrograde, so maybe it's helping me iron out the kinks so that once this thing is in the world, it's ready to go. There's the heat. See, you never hear any of this stuff. And I'm not going to edit it out because I really just don't have time. So here we go. We're starting off with the lovers. This is, by the way, a tarot reading. This is a tarot reading for the new moon that we just had, for Mercury stationing direct, for the beginning of the astrological new year, which kicks off with Aries, which is my sign. And just for change. And sometimes, we talk a lot about rest. We talk a lot about taking care of yourself and, not overdoing it. Hear that door in the background? This is real life, folks. We talk a lot about this stuff. And I absolutely agree with it. And also sometimes when you're working towards something that's really important, you kind of have to push through. Now, I say that with all of the caveats in the world because I have clients with chronic illness. I live with chronic illness. There are times when that is not like a good idea and also like not possible. However, this feels like one of those times. And I also feel like this period in history is going to require more of us than we have been accustomed to giving, especially because we have, in my neck of the woods, things have been relatively comfortable. And so we're not used to, the difficulty that might come from having to fight for, what's right. So let's go back to the Lovers. The Lovers might be asking us to hearken back to 2022, which was the year of the Lovers in terms of the numerology of the major arcana. 2 + 0 + 2 + 2 is 6, and the Lovers is card 6. There may be some stuff from 2022 that needs addressing, that didn't get properly managed. And the Lovers asks us to connect with the people in our lives who know us the best, who we are intimate with, and certainly, like romantic partners, but also just those people in your life who you don't have to put on your mask for. It doesn't matter if you show up in your pajamas and you haven't washed your hair for 8 days. They don't care. May we all have at least one of these people in our lives. I'm very blessed with some very, very close friends, and obviously my partner. What else is this asking us? One of the things I always find interesting about this card, and is, so this is Adam and Eve, right? And the angel, but Adam's looking to Eve and she's looking to the angel who's also looking at Eve. And it kind of reminds me of, we hear a lot of talk about the matriarchy and the divine feminine in terms of like, where are we going to go from here? How much longer is this downfall going to happen? And like, how do we rebuild? And so many folks are talking about the idea of matriarchy, which is simply just a caring philosophy, a caring structure, building things from a caring center point. And so if Eve is kind of the material embodiment of the divine feminine, and matriarchy, then it makes sense that we have a card that everyone is looking to the matriarch for what to do. And so actually, that's it. That's what we should be doing. That's why that card wanted to come through. Okay, what's next? Oh, thank you, Ace of Cups. I mean, my goodness, after this Mercury retrograde, a fresh beginning, a cup overflowing, lots of love, coming from the Lovers to the Ace of Cups. We really see divine intervention. We've come through the difficulty and now we kind of get to, we haven't come through all of the difficulty, but let's just say the difficulty of this Mercury retrograde. And now we get a leg up in terms of, next level, next new beginning, fresh start. It's supported by divine, universe, spirit, whatever you like to call it. And we want to remember the 5 points of the pentacle, which represents the 4 directions plus center. So we've got east reflecting air and swords, south reflecting fire and wands, west reflecting water and cups, and north reflecting earth and pentacles, and then center, which is kind of where all of the points connect. And it's your magic. But I said that because there's 5 flowing streams coming from the cup, which is also meant to be the Holy Grail. And what I love about this too is it looks, you know, if you're watching on YouTube, or you can just pull out your Rider-Waite-Smith deck or look on the internet, the cup is meant to be the Holy Grail. And we have this W, which is actually an M. And the reason it's upside down is so that God can see it. So it's reminding us that things are bigger than we know, and that as much as it can feel like everything's against us, often there's miracles around the corner. Okay, one more card. Oh, gee. I mean, thanks, Tarot. I really mean it. The sun. We are returning to the sun. The sun is out for longer. The sun is bringing light to the darkness. We have a naked child riding a horse. Whenever anyone is naked in tarot, it means freedom to be who you are. We really need to be focusing on that, especially for our trans friends, folks within the community, the LGBTQ plus IA 2S community, the disabled folks, you know, all the folks who throughout history have been dealing with all kinds of bullshit. Anyways, the sun is letting us know that that we are ready to be our full selves. And you know, the reason there's a child here is it's that innocence, right? And so you've probably heard me say this before, but innocence as an adult is a choice. It is knowing what's out there, right? Open eyes. I'm not saying go in and read all of the files or every single news article, and not just about that, but anything. However, it's important to know what's happening, because you can only fight for what's right if you know what you're fighting. And once we know, and I think we all now have a much better idea of what's really been going on, once you know that, it's a choice to be hopeful. It's a choice to go forward with hope and love in your heart from a lighter or innocent perspective, believing that change is possible despite all the odds. Maybe it's Delulu. It is literally the only way I can move forward in life, is believing that good will overcome, that it's worth fighting for. And if you needed that right now, then I feel like I'm going to cry. Then that's why this card came up. What is your freest self? Who is that version of you? How can you let them come through? How can you let them finally have light? We contort ourselves so many different ways. I just remembered I'm not wearing makeup, so I can actually wipe my eyes. Not that I couldn't before, but you know what it's like. My friend Jericho Mandber once said, "It is your birthright to dream as big as you possibly can." And may we all find opportunities this week, this new astrological year, to dream up what we want the future to look like. And may it look for everyone like the joy that this person is feeling in this card, with the sunflowers and the sun. That's all I got today, my friends. Make sure you're following us, because we do have some exciting episodes coming up. We have a great episode coming up with an author, a first-time author of a book that sounds so cool, and lots of other magical folks. And this is a joy for me to do. And I hope that it is a joy for you to listen to. And that's all I got. May this new season bring you so much joy.